This is the tournament submission form you will receive as the statistician for the ASA. There's a few key pieces of information we need from this form: the tournament name, the tournament date, the number of participants, and the results. This will be transferred onto another Excel spreadsheet to calculate the overall rankings. This is the ASA ranking grid for the standard open tournament. In this case, we're looking at a 5-player tournament, so the 2 to 5 player column will be used to calculate ranking points. This is the master spreadsheet for the overall ranking points for the ASA. As you can see, I've added the California State Championship on November 20, 2010 per the submitted scoring sheet. Next, we will go ahead and add the ranking points for this tournament. Just referring back to the submitted tournament results sheet, we can see that the 5 players are all from California. Eventually you'll become familiar with where everyone is, and we can show you some shortcuts to help enter the results faster. So referring to the shortcut I talked about earlier, you can pull down the state filter, unselect all and select CA for California and click OK. And this will just bring up all the ranking players that are in California, which will make it very easy to add the results. I've hidden some of the tabs to make entering the text easier for you to see during this tutorial. As Wayne Smith got first place, he gets a total of 4 points. Second place was Steve Tucker with 2 points. Third and fourth place between Simon Hutchison and Kevin Neiman was tied. Normally, if you have a higher ranking, instance the 15-player tournament, third place would get 11 and fourth place would get 9. Each player would get 10 because they both tied for third place unless they played the third or fourth playoff round. In this case, each additional player only gets 1 point. So Simon Hutchison gets an additional point, Kevin Neiman gets an additional point, and Dominic Hutchison gets an additional point. Now the results are entered, we can undo the filter to show all the rankings from all the different states. This is where we scroll to the bottom of the same tab on the spreadsheet and do a cross-check just to make sure we haven't made any errors in our data entry. If you remember from the submitted sheet with the results, there was 5 participants of the tournament, and here the formula adds up to 5, so we know we haven't missed anyone. Also, a bit further down, it tells us that we gave 1 person 4 points, 1 person 2 points, and 3 people 1 point. This is just another way to cross-check that we haven't given somebody too many points by accident. It's very easy to typo and give somebody 10 points rather than 1. In this case, it would show up down here, and we know nobody should have got 10 points in a 5-player tournament. Now the easy part, rolling up the rankings into one table. On your Developer tab, open it up, click Macros, and the Open Ranking macros just hit Run, and it does all the hard work for you. Now we can go and check out the Rankings tabs to make sure everything's worked out okay. The Open Master tab at the bottom left has all the data for the ASA rankings. The Open Rankings tab is this year's point race, as we call it, and the rolling ranking is the 12 months rankings. Looking at the Open Ranking tab, the first thing we have to do is correct the date to today's date. Then we can look down and just see who's the top ranking. In this case, Wayne Smith is ranked number 1 in the points race and Steve Tucker is number 2. The column headings are pretty self-explanatory. Rank shows 1, 2, 3 with the T in parentheses means they're tied, so there's 3 players tied for third. Player is obviously the player's name, state is the state they would reside in, event is the number of tournaments they've participated in, total points is the total points for all the tournaments added up, and the points awarded is the top 5 tournament results. The rolling ranking tab shows 12 months worth of data to give a more smooth version of the rankings. As normal, Zank normally heads the table and Paul's normally too far behind him. In this case, you can see the varied states, the varied ranks, including tied for 18th and tied for 20th, variety of number of events, and a variety number of total points. This concludes the tutorial on how to update the rankings for the ASA Opens. One exception is once a year the National Championship takes place and a separate points grid is used for the National Championship. You just have to be aware when people submit National Championship points that we use the different grid because we get higher point weighting for this tournament.